Hey, everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions, episode 95. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Doing another night vibes. Ooh, night vibes. I got the candles here. I'll show you just to prove it. I don't know why I need to prove it, but ooh, there they are. Wow, they're really bright on the phone, aren't they? But those are candles. They're only a few inches away from the phone. That's probably why they're so bright. And they're probably going to make me look stupid because I got all these glares coming off my glasses. I look like a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica, huh? All right, I've lost my mind. That's okay. That'll happen. I want to talk about My Godfather for a minute. I actually do have one. It's funny. Oh, real fucking original, John. An Italian guy with a Godfather. Whoop-de-doo. A New York Italian guy with a Godfather. Yay. But my Godfather's actually not, like, to me, a typical Godfather. I don't think he's Italian at all. His name's Peter Locker. He's really cool. He's probably closing in on 80 years old. I really don't know a lot about him. I feel like he's very eccentric, though. My dad knew him back when I was growing up, or not even really growing up, but when I was a baby in New York. Because we moved here when I was 5 in 1973. So he got to know Peter, I'm guessing, when he was 18, 19, 20, until we left here when he was 25, 26 years old. Um, and Peter has, I have very vague recollections of him, but we've stayed in contact, so that's kind of cool. Um, the recollections I have are visiting his home. I don't remember his wife at all. That maybe she had dark hair, and that he ate spaghetti with chopsticks, which I thought was really eccentric. It was probably Chinese noodles of some sort when I look back on it as an adult, but that's what I remember as a child was he was eating spaghetti with chopsticks. So what about this really cool, pretty incredible man? He still lives in New York. He has sent me. He doesn't send Christmas cards generally, once in a while, but for the most part, he's a New Year's card guy, which is really cool. I think it's a really, it's kind of, if there's anything we should celebrate, in my opinion, it's a new year. There's no religion behind it. Well, there is if you go, like, if we talk about Roman or Gregorian calendars or AD versus BC. Yes, there is religion involved in our calendars, and even in how time works. I bet, if you look at the Mayan clocks and all that. Anyway, that's not important. I just think it's a cool thing that he does that, and he will do his own cards. He will get them actually copyrighted. He made his own cards. Or I don't know if he designed them himself or he had artists do them for him. I should ask him that. But he would send me New Year's cards. Geez, for the longest time, ever since I can remember. And unfortunately, when you're in your 20s and 30s and you're raising a family and you're self-absorbed, I'd write him a thank you note back, but that was about it. Wouldn't really ask him a lot was going on in his life. And so as I've gotten older, I'm starting to ask more questions and appreciate him a little more. Unfortunately, my dad is just ridiculous. Um, I don't know what kind of falling out they had. If it was just one of those things where they decided, I don't know what happened, but they don't talk to each other. My dad's like, tell him I'd like him to contact me. I go, here's his address, here's his phone number. You fucking contact him. Why are you throwing me in the middle of this? Why are you making him make the first move? That bullshit just annoys me. It's like, if you care about the relationship, pursue it. If you don't. But don't look for answers about something you don't give a shit about, right? I mean, who cares? If you're not don't care enough to pursue the relationship, why do you care enough to get an answer out of, oh, why haven't you called me? Why haven't you written? Well, for one thing, Dad, you've been all over this fucking country of ours. Maybe he couldn't contact you. Maybe you should have contacted him. He's had the same post office box for as long as I can remember. Grand Central Station. it's I'm not going to tell you which post office box, but yeah, I have that memorized because, like I said, we've been in contact. So but he's very eccentric. He got me into a wine called Sauterne. Sauterne, I'm probably saying it wrong. It's a French dessert wine. It's my favorite wine ever. He just sent me a bottle one year, and I was hooked. It's really, really good. It's almost like a plum wine, but if you get a really good one, it's an amazing wine. I highly suggest it if you ever want to kind of impress your friends. Wine is like a dime a dozen now. If you get a good Sauterne, though, I think you could maybe impress somebody. But yeah, so he got me into that. And then lately, now with the advent of me being, the sole parent of these kids, essentially, I mean, my ex-wife is in their lives, but with COVID, she sees them, a couple hours a week. That's it. She comes over on weekends. We maybe go there. That's it. So he asks about the kids, and he tries to send us things that he thinks would be either helpful to our family unit or that the kids might like. And he doesn't really understand what kids want today, but he sent me like a bunch of knives, like kitchen knives. They were really good quality knives, but it was such a weird thing. He didn't ask me, he just sent them. I go, oh, knives, okay, cool, thank you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But the reason I brought him up is because he just sent me a really cool leather jacket. And I'm not a leather jacket guy. And it's a large, and I could probably use an extra large, but I put it on. I kind of liked it. It's cool because it's been used by him for years. It's from New Zealand, and he sent a little letter in it and described everything about it. And then this is typical Peter. And then he also sent me some insoles. Now, I don't know if he knows about my feet. I don't think I've ever talked, but I do not have good feet. They're flat feet to begin with. Then my friend ran over one. One of them has like 25, so it's worse off than the other one. And so I have to wear insoles just to not be in pain. But he sent me some. I don't know if they're the right kind for me. They don't look like they are, but he just sent those on a whim because as far as I know, I've never told him about foot issues I have. So that was an unusual but fun package I got to open today. It was a leather jacket and some insoles. He sent a jacket, like a blazer for Logan that looked really nice on Logan, and I hope he doesn't find. I would hate for him to see this video. So maybe I shouldn't say, but Logan will probably never wear it. Logan is a very different dresser. Logan wears a sweater that his mother made him every day. Every day. Dylan's gotten really good at knitting. Like the last 10 years, she's really gotten into it. It's like her hobby. And so that's my ex-wife. Just in case anyone doesn't know who my ex-wife is. But yeah, she makes hats, makes scarves, makes sweaters. She made me a hat for Christmas, which was pretty cool. But yeah, so Logan will probably never use that. But Peter sends some cool stuff. And I just had to give him and Godfathers in general a shout out. He knew things about my father that my father's never told me. I didn't know my father played xylophone and could play it pretty well. Had no idea. No idea. He's never shared that information with me. That's the kind of relationship me and my father have. I know my dad loves jazz. He has an amazing collection, hundreds of records. And I will probably inherit them or he will try to sell them before he dies because, vinyl's pretty popular and maybe he wants some money for them. He's still making that decision. But I did find it just mind blowing that Peter told me just a few years ago. He was like, yeah, your dad was really good at the vibes. And I'm like, what? I had no idea. No idea. It didn't help that my dad was also could lie about stuff too. Like he told my mother and told me even when I was a little kid that he was a race car driver. Not as far as any evidence suggests. He told me one time, oh yeah, I got trophies and stuff. I've never seen the trophies. If they exist, I've never seen them. So that's another weird thing about my dad. And maybe this is the part of the rift between my father and Peter. I don't know. It's a bummer. You think about it, these guys were friends in the 60s. How cool would it have been to be good friends with somebody in the 60s if you didn't have to go to the war and you could experience things like, geez, like, can you imagine Soho in 1966? Can you imagine having an opportunity to go to Woodstock in 1969? Yeah, so it's just a cool thing. So I just wanted to celebrate my godfather. Like I said, he's an unusual guy. I hope I get to see him one last time before one of us dies. I mean, he, like I said, he's not young. I know he's had health issues the last few years. He's told me about them. He's been in and out of the hospital. And I just hope he's doing well. He's obviously well enough to send me a leather jacket, and we also email, so that's helpful. That was the nice thing. I do. If you can find someone you can write letters back and forth to, I think it's a good thing. I sometimes do it with my friend John Marsh. I think I need to start doing it again because there's just something cool about receiving a letter in the mail that somebody actually took the time to write to you rather than. Although it is nice for me and Peter to have that because we can at least contact each other a little more often and frequently than we used to. Anyway, that was kind of a long, drawn-out thing about my godfather. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a cool godfather like I do, or at least a cool dad like I I guess sort of do. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Maybe I'll do another night vibe. Okay, see you soon. Have a great night. I got nothing else to say. Bye.